Okay, so the thing about serotonin tryptophan is your nicotinic acids, vitamin B's, and that's all complex carbohydrates. There's no protein in human breast milk, and sugar is a terrible acid, and salt is a waste product of the human body. So, what we eat in our flavor taste buds sends us to the hospital directly from the supermarket. And the thing about complex carbohydrates is that we call them bulk fiber, and we got all these strange. We insist that we haven't got the enzyme to process them, but we come from trees. We're not even fruitarians. So for about 2-3 million years, what the ancestors did not know about. Okay, what shall we eat? I got two down and one up. I'm making a cork for you. Two negative and one positive. The Chinese did that for us. We couldn't handle the negative positive of it all, so they gave us these corks. That's not a white man's thing, the corks, unless you consider Chinese people white. Whatever. And 1/6 of us, so I'm 1/6 Chinese if I'm an earthling human, right? Yeah. We do the math and we sample it all out. And what we got to talk about is kelp. This is two down. Kelp is down because it's at the bottom. You see the ocean, we washed all the minerals into the ocean. So you see vegetables and things, but the problem is there's 6% protein, and there's only 1% protein in human breast milk, so the whole kelp is harvested. And so two down. What's the other down? Probably not spaghetti sauce. Spaghetti sauce. Well, the thing is, if you believe in evolutionary partners, vines would not need. And there's a vine right here. It's sativa, marijuana. So many things should not be illegal. Anyway, so the other down is, for me anyway, because I'm trying to be an earthling here in this galaxy. Not just a human, because, it'd be earthling first instead of human first. So we got some leaves. And I got to tell you about complex carbohydrates here. There's Epsom salts. The container is a milk carton. The milk carton's about 60% hardwood and 40% softwood. And you chew on that for 15 minutes. And the enzymes in your saliva mix in such a way that your stomach's waiting for this food. By the time you swallow it, it takes you 15 minutes to chew it. By the time you swallow it, remember the gum we used to eat with the sugar and everything? Well, you like to chew, and you'd like to chew all day, but we smoke cigarettes, we pound back pasta, we drink beer. So we got a problem with the oral fixation. We're not supposed to suck our thumbs past the age of 4. Listen to some music or something. It's just making me nervous. Anyway, so there's two down and one up. The one up here is the leaves that were, in a great sense of humor, scooped from a bag of plastic after they were raked up viciously from the ground. Now the thing about Earth and humans is there's about 2 hectares per human. The thing about humans and hectares is that it's about how much we can rake in a day. And how long the average person lives is like 30,000 days or something. So we rake the face of the planet, in one generation, if you consider that 70 years or anyway, arguably, because you could say a generation is 13 years old when they can start having babies instead of a full lifetime. But anyway, so we get the math all figured out here. No, it's just about time. Well, we like to mix the kelp, which we bought. See, this is down because they do not need to be harvested in their lives. Humans cause so much death when they eat. It's just not. So that's why the one up is the leaves, because there's hardly anybody living in them. I mean, sometimes they fly out in your face and say, "Hey, what are you doing to my planet?" But that barely happens. Not like in a can. Just the transportation of that metal can causes more death. So you see, we get it down to a slight. We've seen all the horror movies, and we know we live in one, so why? Anyway, this thing, I was obsessed. I had to buy the scale to measure how many grams complex carbohydrates it takes. Now, this is what freaks you out. My doctor told me babies need such little milk. It amazes him how they even ever get bigger, because 80% of it's from the air, not the solids. And you know this from plants. if you measure their growth by how much soil they actually use, mineral mining from the air. It's all in the air. So anyway, what do we got? Grams of carbohydrates here. With the packaging, 100 grams. I think the packaging is about 60. Well, we have an empty. Anyway, you try to get like 50 grams of an ounce of marijuana, 28 grams. If you were to eat that, you'd fall over dead. So, drugs and food and sex and rock and roll. What the boys need to stay at work. I mean, and the girls, I don't think they really understand when they say they can do anything a man can do. I thought we were supposed to do all the killing and stuff. And, they just sit there with the babies. But, that was 2-3 million years ago. And now we got Plymouth Horizons and Pontiac Bell Stars. Anyway, that's time to go now, because if I start on the petroleum, those were the souls of the ancient ancestors, Brontosaurus DNA and all sorts of stuff in there. And, electrons don't need to be captured, and what the heck we done to time, never mind inhabitants of the universe. It's about time to go. Stop.